Hey everybody, Dane here with Pet Techniques, and I'm excited to talk about one of our favorite dog training tools and how we use it to help transform dogs every day. In today's world, it's easy to get overwhelmed with the number of training aids, tools, classes, and philosophies. But what it all boils down to is how we can most effectively and clearly communicate with our dogs. What tool and approach is going to help bridge the gap between dog and human, and how we can establish a mutual language that's going to benefit our dogs. Remote collars can be categorized as communication tools because we're doing just that, conveying information through a common system. And the more we remain consistent, the better results we will get. So practically, what's happening? The dog is feeling a TENS unit type sensation that is paired with a verbal command. So sit, down, place, heel, come. That low level pressure stays engaged until said command is completed. This is what we call a pressure on, pressure off method. Think of this process like driving in your car without your seatbelt. You know that dinging sound that keeps reminding you to buckle up and it doesn't stop until you do? It's a simple reminder, but it helps you follow through, buckle, and drive safely. You've been patterned to understand what that sound means and exactly what it takes to turn that sound off. This is the remote collar language. And when we say low level, we mean the lowest level the dog feels, or what we call the perception level. Remote collar training isn't meant to startle, scare, or overwhelm dogs. It's meant to help them tune in, focus, and follow through. So having the ability to dial in and find that perfect level really helps give that sensation value. What are we accomplishing, and what is the dog learning through remote collar training? The remote pressure they're feeling doesn't go away until they've performed the command, which encourages more fluid and consistent follow-through, something that mere food training doesn't always fulfill. And here's the reality. If your dog is especially distracted, tuned out, or simply doesn't opt to listen to you, it's going to be incredibly difficult getting their attention, keeping their attention, and remaining relevant. The tactical, almost tangible prompt of the remote collar and the ability to adjust levels based on your dog's energy allows us to always remain coherent and heard. The real world is always going to present distractions and temptation. So it's our responsibility to use these tools to our and your dog's advantage. Now, long term, how we use the remote changes, because realistically, we don't always want to rely on the tool to get good behavior. So we're using it in more of a corrective style. At this point, the dog has complete awareness and understanding of both the remote collar training and the verbal commands. So to maintain consistency and reliability, we simply hold them to a certain standard. You can call this accountability. Here's where, instead of continuous pressure each time a command is given, we're simply tapping the button at a higher level when the dog doesn't comply. At any point, are we shocking or electrocuting the dog until they figure it out? Not at all, because remote collars are literally incapable of doing that. The circuitry behind them mimics that of a muscle stimulator. And also, if you followed the guidelines and explanation of how to use this tool, you're well on your way to fairly and humanely training your dog. So, the elephant in the room, can you misuse a remote collar? Sure. But anyone can misuse any tool, whether it's dog training related or not. We have to remember that tools are just tools. They won't do their job unless we do ours. The application of the tool is how we're going to create leverage and results. So we can't rely on these things to make our problems go away. So please always do your research, and if you need to, seek out the support of a professional.